What do you think younger Cosmin used to do in his free time? Do you think he'd go to the gym? Do you think he'd work out? Do you think he'd eat clean? Do you think he'd watch a valuable informational podcast about something? Do you think he'd talk to his friends that mean a lot to him? Do you think he'd spend some time petting his cat? Do you think he'd go out and enjoy the nature that he's lived around for the past 10 years? No. No, what younger Cosmin would do is he'd go onto Discord and he'd go onto YouTube and he'd go onto all these kinds of other social medias and spend more than 6 hours on them every day talking to people who didn't give a fuck about him, seeing people much better than him, seeing people seeing buff people, seeing strong people, seeing people in relationships that younger Cosmin could only dream of because at the time he was socially awkward. He was socially anxious. He could not look a girl in the eye. He saw those amazing relationships. He saw all the attractive girls that were on social media. And he thought of them as these queens. He thought of them as these very high value women that he really wanted to be around. Do you really think that this is the way that younger Cosmin should have spent his time? Probably not. And maybe you can relate to what I'm saying right now. If you can, then I believe that there is something more lying for you that you just haven't gotten to. You know, I used to always spend so much time on social media just trying to find something, just trying to find anything to just keep me entertained, to just keep me constantly doing something with my brain so that I just don't end up being alone with my thoughts, so that I don't end up thinking about the life that I'm living. You know, I used to do this all the time, and I remember the first few times when I did go on Discord and when I did go on YouTube and when I did go on all these sites, when I did end up speaking to a lot of all these strangers, and when I ended the first times that I did those things, they were amazing. I felt so much fucking dopamine just rushing to my head all the time. I felt as if I was I was energetic, I was filled with life. But what do you think happened a year after that? Do you think I still enjoyed social media as much as I previously did? Do you think the feeling just remained the same? No. I stopped enjoying it at all. I stopped feeling this happiness, this joy to be on there. I stopped feeling nice around the people that I was talking to 6 hours a day. I stopped looking at all the girls that I liked with this sense of awe and admiration, and instead with this sense of guilt and insecurity and hate for myself and for them, with resentment. That is how I used to spend most of my time. And I never saw a better way for myself, you know? But I never truly understood that me spending time on there, even after, all the good times passed, and after I stopped enjoying all those kinds of things that I was doing on social media, once I stopped enjoying spending time on there, once I stopped enjoying just scrolling through random fucking videos and images all the time, once I stopped enjoying that, I never knew this before, and this is mind blowing, by the way. Once I stopped doing it, and once I actually got a bit of a chore that, I'd wake up in the morning and I'd be like, yeah, I have to get on social media. I have to talk to all these people. I have to do all of this and I have to do all of that because I have to. Once it got to that point, it was no longer just a normal habit that I was doing being on social media. I was addicted. At that point, it's an addiction. At the point when you're doing something which once felt pleasurable and nice and amazing, but then once you're doing it now, you've been continuously doing it, and once you're doing it now, it no longer feels pleasurable, it no longer feels amazing, it no longer feels exciting. It's just this monotonous thing that you just keep doing all the time. You keep just checking your phone and looking. It's no longer something fun. that is when it becomes an addiction, right? That is the point where you can recognize your addiction. And bro, don't fucking lie to yourself, because I know that all of us have this tendency to lie to ourselves, don't we? I still have it as well after a year and a half of self-improvement and being extreme about all of this. I still sometimes lie about myself. I still sometimes lie about the things in my mind, the things that I don't want to hear. And so I'm here with you, reminding myself and reminding you to be honest be honest, just at least for a moment, and think to yourself, is this me? Is this the person that was being described, who is just checking his phone and doing all these kinds of things on social media, but it no longer feels fun, it no longer feels enjoyable? If that is me, well, if that is me, then what have I done wrong? This is what I want you to be very honest about. I want you to just see yourself in what's going on. Because you wouldn't have clicked on a video regarding social media addiction if you didn't feel like you had something to relate to here. Right? So you are addicted to social media. This is the starting point to everything. If you don't admit this, then you're never going to be able to quit it. This is the point that you have to start with in every single addiction before you can actually go further. This is how I quit all my addictions, by the way. This is how I quit social media. This is how I quit video games. This is how I quit porn. This is how I quit shit people. This is how I quit junk food. This is how I quit Netflix shows and movies. I quit all of those things by acknowledging the problem first and then thinking of ways that I could get to fix that. And before we get to those ways, I want to talk to you for some things that I know that you might already know to some extent, but you need to know this, right? You need to literally ingrain this shit in your mind, because if you don't know all of these things, then you're never going to be able to truly understand the gravity of the situation here. You see, back when I was using social media, and because of social media, I am 100% sure, and I fucking checked it, by the way. I looked at all these studies and I looked over all kinds of information regarding this, and I'm sure that social media ruined my social life. It's kind of weird because they both have social in them, and yet one of them managed to ruin the other. Social media ruined my social life. It ruined my ability to be present with people, to be aware of what's going on around me, so I can actually, be a fun guy at a party. It made me feel scared and insecure of myself, which is never a good thing if you want to be this confident social butterfly that everybody wants around. And probably even more things, bro. Social media made me incapable of looking a girl in the eye. And I remember this very clearly, man. Around 2 years ago, maybe less, before starting self-improvement in either way, I used to walk past girls on the street, man. I used to walk past like this attractive girl on the street, and I was scared of even looking in the general direction. Like, up until she passed, I was literally doing this. I was literally fucking escaping. I was scared. I was terrified of looking a girl in the eye, of literally just looking at her and acknowledging her presence. Nothing more, nothing less. Just simply looking at her. I was so fucking terrified of doing that. But once I quit social media, it literally went away. It literally went away on its own. So I am sure that this is something that social media caused. Because when you go on social media and you see all these kinds of crazy models and you see all these kinds of girls that you really like and you really want to be around, and all you do is you fucking jack off while looking at pictures of them. Because let's not fucking lie, people do that, and you probably have done that yourself. You jack off looking at all these attractive girls, and when you see one in real life that kind of resembles one of them, you're like, holy shit, no. You're scared. How can you look a fucking girl in the eye, a real one in front of you, when you know that you've literally masturbated while looking at pictures of girls that are kind of similar to her? Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze, man. No, I'm not gonna sneeze anymore. I'm okay. How can you literally fucking live with yourself knowing that you probably masturbated. You know if you masturbated or not. At a picture of this girl, and then you see like a girl kind of resembling those girls, because most of the time, like, they're all gonna be very similar in the trends and the things that they wear, because it's the trends and everything that everybody has on social media. You're gonna see her and you're like, she kind of looks like this girl that I ended up fucking jacking off to. How the hell are you supposed to feel proud of yourself and actually look at this girl in the eye with some sense of confidence and self-esteem? No, you're not. You're gonna walk past her and you're gonna feel like a fucking failure, man. This is how I felt for the majority of my life. In the past, God knows how many years, when I'd be doing that, I felt fucking scared. And so, chasing the instant pleasures of social media can be used as a way to escape your problems. Think about that. Chasing the instant pleasures of social media is most of the time used as a way to escape your problems. You don't just go on social media because you want to look at that girl, or you want to look at that guy, or maybe you want to see this cool video of this guy doing a trick. You don't want to talk to your friends. No. You just want to escape your fucking problems. And don't lie to yourself again. Be all fucking honest. You just want to escape your problems. You have bigger problems in your life that you're afraid to face. And you'd much rather just be on social media and just looking at all these kinds of cute girls and shit. And look at that cool video and like just butcher all these kinds of fucking videos and butcher your mind with a bunch of dopamine hits that you get every 0.3 seconds. While you're destroying your attention span. You are not doing it for fun. You're doing it because you're scared of facing your actual fucking life. You're scared of what's going on in your life. And this was exactly what was going on in my life. I was there. I was just going for social media. I was spending 6 hours, by the way. Like, this should tell you something. I was spending 6 hours because if I would have spent those 6 hours in my actual life, imagine how shit I would have felt seeing all the problems that I was facing. But no, I'd rather just spend 6 hours, like a bunch of my day, just on Discord, on YouTube, on other kinds of social media, just trying to get some quick fucking information in my brain, so I don't have to think about other things. So I don't have to think about my inability to look a girl in the eye. So I don't have to look at the fact that I'm a fucking stick. Back then I was a complete stick. I was skinny fat, right? I could not run properly, bro. I could not do like a bunch of things properly. I was a fucked up person, both physically and mentally. More mentally than physically, luckily. I have this really interesting quote that I want you to hear and I want you to really think about, right? It goes, social media is a drug. It's engineered to be a drug. Like, those two sentences were said by Dr. Anna Lemke from the University of Stanford in the US. This doctor has studied addiction for more than 20 years. And this is the conclusion that she came up with. That social media is a drug and it's engineered to be a drug. You want to know why? Like, think about it. Why do you think you've developed an addiction? You cannot develop addictions to things that don't have any kind of actual crazy activation of your mind. But social media activates your mind just fine, doesn't it? Oh, it does. It fucking does, doesn't it? When you're just scrolling there and you see a bunch of ass, you see a bunch of tits, you see a jacked motherfucker, and then you see more ass and more tits and more jacked motherfuckers. It fucks with your mind, doesn't it? And now, imagine doing that for so long that at this point it just becomes an addiction, which is probably what you have. If you don't even feel like you're getting anything out of it anymore, if you feel like it's just this chore to do it, then you're addicted, right? You're addicted to this drug that is social media. Just like I was back then, spending 6 hours on social media every day. I was addicted to this drug. I was addicted to this problem. And I was spending my time around other people who are also addicted to the same problem, who I thought were my friends. But turns out we were all addicted to the same drug. Maybe you've heard this before from me, but the fact that you're not, most of those friends in real life that you have, most of them, that you just kind of spend some time with and you have some kind of fun, but that you don't really talk after that. You are all friends with the same drug. You're not friends with each other. You're friends with the same fucking drug. You're all jumping at the same thing at the same time, and you like having each other around because it makes you feel better about yourself. That you're not the only one that's actually being a dumbass right now. Social media and with the entire like damn thing that you're seeing images and flashes of images and information every 0.3 seconds. Like imagine TikTok, dude. Like I've seen people in my life sitting on their phone with their phone in hand with being on TikTok and literally scrolling that every 1 second or so. And they rarely ever stop to actually look at something. No, they just scroll like that, mindlessly. Why do you think that is? It's because they want information. Their brain, the fact that they're getting so much information thrown at them all the time, and that sometimes these kind of stuff for more than a second, for like 3 seconds, they look at this thing and they're like, oh, quick dopamine hit. Oh, cool. Okay, and then you keep scrolling and you keep scrolling. All these kinds of things, they use this very interesting, very, very interesting algorithm, you could call it. I don't even know. It's this, what would you call it? Random intermittent reward, right? So when you're being on social media, mostly the scrolling stuff, and even on YouTube and all these kinds of things, bro, you go and you recommend it or whatever, and you're just scrolling down all these things, and you see like 10 shitty things that you don't care about, and then you see one thing that really amps you up. You're like, oh, that's cool. Then another 15, another 8 things that you don't like, and then another one that's really cool. And then maybe the next one is another cool thing, and you're like, holy shit, 2 cool things at a time. What's gonna be the next one? Next one's not nice. Okay. Next 5 ones, they're not nice either. But the 6th one, oh, that one is cool, man. Some tits, some ass. Yeah, let's go. What do you think happens? You are literally going in this trap of random intermittent reward. You are getting random rewards that are enough to just keep you satisfied. It's not enough to actually get you bored and off the platform. And it's not enough to keep you hooked in there like a fucking monkey. No, it's just right there. It's just enough to keep you going. Like that. Just constantly scrolling and scrolling, just wanting to just see that little thing that makes your brain pop up a little bit more, so you get that instant dopamine hit. Just finding that one thing that, like, after all these kinds of shit content that you're just scrolling through, you find this one thing, you're like, oh, that's nice, I like that. And then maybe the next one is going to be the same, and you keep doing that, and it's random. This is literally the tactic that casinos use. This is the stuff that is used in casinos. And you know damn well that casinos make people addicted, that it makes people ruin their lives. Why do you think it would be different here? Why do you think that you are different here? Because you're probably fucking not. Social media is ruining your life. There's a study out there that shows that at least 83% of the participants in this study, and this is a big study, stated that they feel as in they're in a constant state of overdrive. What does that mean, overdrive? That means that you're accessing a bunch of information that's like a lot, and it fucks with your mind. It's just way too much, and you're just overwhelmed. That is overdrive. The 83% of the participants, 83%, the majority of them, feel as if they're in a constant state of overdrive. They know that. They stated themselves, by the way. They know that by being on social media, by being on modern technology in general for a long period of time, and mostly social media, because that's where you're going to see all the information, right? You're not just going to see it searching for how to make dinner on Google. You're not gonna get a huge dopamine boost from that. No, you're gonna get it by seeing things that maybe you like and all these kinds of things, and you're seeing all this information that you don't care about until you find the one thing that you like, and then you keep scrolling that for hours. Your mind is fucked. Your mind is getting fucked in the ass, dude. You don't even want to think about it, do you? Like, sometimes I don't even want to think about it myself. The fact I felt that is, I remember it now, I'm thinking back on it. I was in a constant state of overdrive for the majority of my life back then. There were little times when, like, probably when I was sleeping, maybe for like an hour a day, I wasn't like constantly viewing information. But then the rest of the day was just constant overdrive, constant information, constant dopamine there, constant this and that, constant seeing information everywhere. And the majority of that came from my phone. From my phone, from my computer, from my tablet, because I have that. From all these kinds of different places, from TV as well. I got this overdrive of just constant information that was just overwhelming my brain. And I had several periods in my life where I had to take a break from social media for like 2 weeks because I just couldn't take it anymore. Because I felt like I was going insane. But I'd always come back because I was addicted. I needed that in my life. And I want to talk to you and I want to get you to fucking destroy this as well, man. Social media also, you've probably heard about this as well, that fear of missing out, haven't you? Oh, I feel like I'm missing out on that cool thing that's happening, that's maybe happening right now. Oh, I see my friends on social media and they're posting about this cool event that they just went to, that they're actually going to right now. And I'm sitting here at home in my bed just scrolling on my phone. Oh, I'm missing out. I'm missing out on this cool activity. And then you feel like shit, then you feel like you're not worth it because, oh, those people didn't invite you? Damn, like, I thought they were your friends, bro. Like, you have them on social media and you talk to them all the time on social media. But when it comes to actually doing things in real life and actually being there and doing things, no, you're not. You're not their friend. And you feel horrible for it. You destroy your self-confidence, your self-esteem. You feel like shit. And you just, at this point, you're just wanting to be more around them so that you don't miss out on anything important. And that's how you ruin your life. I made a video a few days ago, I think, about the fear of missing out. If you can watch that, like, that would be genuinely meaningful for you. This fear of missing out, it is ruining lives as well. And it all stems mostly from social media. Nowadays, the fear of missing out, the biggest growth factor of this fear of missing out, the biggest reason why it's growing so much in people is because they are on social media all the time. You're constantly seeing your friends, your friends, by the way. You're constantly seeing all those people. You're seeing other people around the world, around the other side of the globe, going to this festival, going to this cool thing, doing this, being with their girlfriend. And you're not. You're not with your girlfriend because you don't have one. Because you cannot look a girl in the eye. Because you masturbate looking at girls on Instagram. So you see that and you think to yourself, fuck me, man, I want that, but I don't have it. And I don't think I can have it. I don't think that I can get to it right now. And you feel like you're missing out on so much. There's a survey out there. There's this survey made with a lot of people, a bunch of people from ages 12 to 67. So people from ages 12 to 67 answered to the survey, and 40% of them, right? Keep this number in mind. 40%, that's almost half of those people from 12 to 67. Like, this is literally the entire, like, the majority of the age range. 12 to 67, 40% of them mentioned that social media increased their fear of missing out. They feel as if they know that social media increased their fear of missing out. Now, isn't that fucking crazy? Those people, they literally know that social media increased their fear of missing out. 40% of them. And probably like another 40%, it's happened to them, but they don't know about it, or they don't want to admit it. And the other 20%, maybe it just didn't. But you're not one of those 20%, aren't you? You're not. You're not. Never was I back then. And so, by being on social media, you're also increasing your fear of missing out. You're increasing all these fears and insecurities and doubts and regrets of not being with all these kinds of other people in your life on that are mostly on social media. You want to be with them all the time, and you're just always in this constant state of stress because you're not there. I was like that. I became an ass kisser for majority of the people around me. I destroyed my self-confidence, my self-esteem, just so I could get to be invited to some shitty party, just so I could get to spend 15 extra minutes with a girl. Because I was so scared of missing out on anything that I would do anything. I changed my values, I changed my mind, I changed my perceptions on the world, my habits, my beliefs, and everything, just so it could fit what those people were doing, just so maybe I could have a bigger chance of getting invited to the next event. By the way, most of those, basically every event with those people that I went to, shit. Waste of my fucking time. Never doing that again, by the way. And so you need to know that the fear of missing out, it can really ruin your life, and it's something that stems from social media, right? This is a big driving factor on how social media ruins your life. It's not some other things, bro. It's not like you maybe, yeah, when you're spending a bit of time on it as well and you're doing that, it's not a big deal. It's not a big current deal. But when you're constantly stressing yourself out over all these kinds of different things, it fucks your brain up. It destroys you, man. And so, social media, it destroys your authenticity. When you have to be on social media all the fucking time and you just have to see all these kinds of politically correct people giving out their statements about true love and tolerance and friendship and finding your place in the world. And everybody's a fucking winner, bro. Sorry. Everybody's a winner, bro. Everybody's fine, and everybody deserves everything because we're all great. When you hear that, you're compelled to do the same, because if you don't do the same, you're gonna be seen as a fucking monster. People like me, other people on self-improvement talking about this are seen as monsters by those people. Because I'm not telling you that you're great, that you're a great person. You're probably not. You're a shit right now. Probably right now you're in a shit position, bro. And you couldn't amount to more than 2 fucks. Like, you couldn't amount to more than that. But I'm telling you that shit, and this is what's actually getting you to move on with your life. This is what is actually getting you to progress forward, isn't it? It's not having some people just always telling you that, oh, you're amazing, you're great, you're great, just patting you on the head like this, just patting you on the head, bro. I'm fucking slapping your ass, bro. That's the only way that you're ever gonna get a hang of yourself and move on. But when you're on social media all the time and you see all these politically correct statements about everything, you are going to be driven to do the same. If you want to be there, if you want to be around those people, if you want to be accepted in that community, then you have to act like them. There's no being special there. Special doesn't exist. A lot of people, all these people say that, oh, be special, bro. None of them are special. They all wear the same clothes because they all look at the same trends on social media. They all talk the same way because they see the same movies. They all behave in the same way because of the content they consume on social media. When you're on there, you have to do the same. If you want to feel as if you're a part of it and not be ostracized and attacked and fucked over, then you're gonna have to act exactly like them. And that's gonna destroy your authenticity. I've done that for a while, and I thought to myself, like, nothing's gonna happen if I just say, yeah, we should tolerate more people and we should be more of this. We should just love each other, and everybody's great in their own way. Yeah, everybody's nice, and everybody has everybody's a winner. I was saying all these things, and people are on me like, yeah, you're so right. I was not authentic. I felt shit about myself. I knew in my mind. I was saying that, oh yeah, everybody out there is a winner, but everyone is a winner. I was telling myself that everybody wins. I did not even believe that. While I was saying that, my literally my brain, my consciousness was telling no, you're not. No, you're not a winner. You're a fucking pussy. You're a fucking loser. Look at what you're doing. Look at what you're doing with your life. My brain was literally telling that right then and there. While I was speaking out those words, I stopped listening to it. And so I became this shell of the person that I wanted to be. I became this feminine boy that spent all of his time mostly around girls, back then on social media. And I was not even getting any fucking girls, bro. I was not doing it. I was just trying, dude. I was trying, but when you're on social media and you're trying to act politically correct, you're not getting any girls. You're not getting any girls, bro. It destroys your self-awareness as well, by the way. When you're just always speaking like this and you're always being nice, you're always being cool and loving of everybody and tolerating, you are no longer self-aware of what is happening with you. You're no longer self-aware of what you're doing. While I was saying that, while I was spending my time on social media all this time, I was no longer self-aware of what I was doing. Like, I was fucking scrolling my eyes out. Like, I was doing this several times, and I look at the clock for a second, 30 minutes passed. 30 minutes, and I just kind of did that for a little bit, and that's it. I was not self-aware of what was happening. I was not self-aware of what the hell I was doing. I was just doing it because it was in my mind, and I was like, my brain was like, okay, dopamine now. And I was like, okay, cool. Pull out my phone, get some fucking quick dopamine in. There was no more self-awareness to anything. I was doing it like a fucking robot. And you probably feel the same. You probably feel like you don't have any control of yourself. That you're just a slave to your desires. This is what social media does to you. It also destroys your focusing capacity and your ability to be present. What do you think happens when you see new information every 0.3 seconds from all around the globe for hours and hours on end? What do you think happens? Do you think your brain it develops this attention span that could keep you focused on one activity for more than an hour or two? No. No, it's gonna develop an attention span that's gonna keep you. Oh, it takes you an average of around 0.3 seconds to change informations on your screen. Okay? That's what you get in your brain. You cannot focus more than like 0.3 seconds on a fucking anything, because this is how your brain adapted to you spending so much of your time on social media. Just seeing all these kinds of constant flow of information. Your brain is like, okay, well, shit, I'm not going to be able to adapt if I have this attention span that's made for longer things. No, just like fucking distill that down to 0.3 seconds or 3 seconds and stare and just do that all the time. Do that like a fucking robot, like a little bitch, like a pussy, like a monkey. And when you're doing that, when you're not authentic, when you're not self-aware, and when you don't have the right attention span, you're definitely not going to be able to be fucking present in what you're doing. Like when you're just scrolling through social media and 30 minutes pass and you're like, how did that happen? You're not present, bro. You're not fucking present. When you go out and you end up actually speaking to people and you're there and you're supposed to have this good time with the people that just kind of caused your fear of missing out, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm here and I'm doing this. You are not there. You're not even there. You're in your mind. You're literally in your fucking mind, and you're just obsessing over the things that social media just pumps in your brain. You're obsessing over, how I should look, how I should walk. I'm obsessing over this. I'm obsessing over that. I'm obsessing over that girl's picture that she sent to me on Instagram 5 hours ago. And that's how you end up not being present in a conversation with your fucking parents. This is what happened to me, and I fucking dread looking back on this, but I'm gonna do it for you, man. I used to go to dinner with my family. I just eat out. I just eat with my family, right? Normal stuff. I would not be present, bro. I would be in my own brain all the time. I'd just be constantly overthinking about everything. Everything, every single little thing. And I gave no time and attention to my family. I'd finish eating and I'd run back upstairs and continue my crazy Discord call conversation. And I'd continue my crazy YouTube video. I was not there with my family. I don't even want to know what was in my parents' mind. You know, my mom spending hours on end cooking food for me. Me coming there, she's like hoping that I'll say, oh, this is really good food. I really like this. Me just eating that shit up and be like, okay, cool. And then just going back upstairs in like 15 minutes. She must have felt like a fucking failure. To just have a child who does that, you must feel like a fucking failure. I would, bro. If my child would do that, I'd feel like a fucking failure. I don't even want to think about it, dude. And so I've spent 36 minutes talking to you about the way that social media is a horrible thing, bro. If you've gone up until this point, then I fucking respect you. Then it means that you have a decent attention span that you can move on with your life. So how can you actually destroy the social media addiction, right? I'm gonna start this off with a quick statement that the majority of the addicts, in any kind of addiction, the majority of addicts seek a life with much more friction, much more difficulty than the modern one. The majority of addicts nowadays, they feel as if what they're doing right now, they need a lot more friction to their lives. This might be you as well. This was definitely me. You know, now I'm living a much more frictionful life. You know, I'm waking up in the morning. I'm forcing myself to get out of bed at 6 a.m. every day. I'm forcing myself to go to bed decently early. I'm forcing myself not to eat any sugar. I'm forcing myself to not eat any junk food. I'm forcing myself not to spend any time on social media, any time on video games, any time on movies and TV shows and whatever. And I'm forcing myself to go to the gym, eat right, eat clean, exercise like a fucking damn lot, and do these YouTube videos, like get the information in, distill it down, and send it over to you. I'm living quite through a bunch of friction, I believe. Not enough. Maybe I should be adding more friction to my life. But this is what a lot of addicts feel, as if they're not made for this modern world. They feel like their brain is not made for what's going on right now. You know, where you're living this modern life where almost you can have all your physiological needs met within your home. You don't have to go outside to poop. You don't have to go outside to eat. You don't have to go outside to have sex and reproduce, because you can just look at a porn star and masturbate over her. Oh, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. Like, most of these things, you can sleep in your own house, by the way. Like, all these kinds of things, they are just there. You don't even have to get out of your house to get food. Like, you can literally order somebody to just come over up to your house and just get you the food there. There's no more effort. You don't even have to cook it yourself. We are living lives without very little friction. And that's making us weak, and that's making us pissed off. And these people who are going for these addictions, like, I feel like I was one of these people, and you probably are as well. We knew that we needed more. I knew that I wanted more for myself. I knew that I needed to do something with my life. I knew that I needed friction to get there. And once I got that friction, once I got the friction of exercising, of destroying all these addictions and being extreme, being fucking hard on myself, which I absolutely love, by the way, I got the friction that I needed, and now I feel like my life is actually going in the right direction. And so I'm gonna give you some quick friction right now, starting with this actionable step. I want you to take out your journal right now. I want you to take a piece of paper. I want you to take a random fucking I want you to take a random fucking notebook like this. Literally just open it up to a random page. Take a pen, right? and ask this question and really journal about it right now. Why is it I want to get off social media? Why is it that I want to stop using social media? Think about this and like journal about it as much as you possibly can. Write that question down. Why is it that I want to get off social media? And then just write down all the reasons why you just don't like social media. Write down all the reasons how it's made your life bad. And doing this and writing this out on a piece of paper and actually displaying all these this list of just horrible things that social media did to you. Now you know. Now you finally understand what's been going wrong in your life. And now you finally understand the shit that's actually making your life bad. And you start to be a bit pissed off because you're starting to fill out an entire page with all these kinds of different things. And so this is what I want you to do right now. I want you to pause the video. I want you to pick up that piece of paper and I want you to very much journal about this. Assuming you're still watching the video, then you probably already did this. And so there's this really interesting concept that I haven't really heard about up until a while back a little bit, that we need to stop chasing our passions. We need to stop chasing this crazy passion thing, this westernized fucking dog shit that everybody's like, oh, chase your passions, do this, find your passion, bro, do this, oh my god, yeah. Stop doing that. Stop. For once, at least for once, stop just thinking to yourself, oh, what can I find like that's gonna give me this big revelation that I can have to change my life and do everything. Stop. Take a deep breath. And look around you. Look around you. Look at your room. Look at the things in your immediate environment. Look at your pen, bro. Look at your fucking notebook. Look at your bottle of water. Look at your room. Look at everything around you. And ask yourself this. What is there that I really need to do right now? What is there that really needs to be done right now? In this very moment, like right now, by the way, this is the key word, right now. Not later, not this thing, because that will eventually turn into like this wishy-washy shit that you hear all the time. Oh, find your passions, Stop. Look at your immediate environment. Look at your room. Look at your house. Think about your house. Go downstairs if you'd like, just, or whatever you are. I'm upstairs, so I'd go downstairs. Look at your immediate environment. What needs to be really done to improve your environment right now? Even by little, or even, it doesn't have to be big stuff like, oh my god, or, by environment, I also mean yourself. So you can look at yourself, by the way, and be like, yeah, I kind of need to hit the gym. Like, I've been actually putting on a bunch of weight, or, yeah, I kind of need to hit the gym because I'm, like, skinny as shit, or some shit. Or you look at your room and you're like, oh, fuck, it's messy as shit, and maybe I should do this, maybe I should that. Sometimes it's even small things. Sometimes you look around, what can I do to improve the way that things are going, even by a little bit? Even by a little bit. It could be taking out the trash. It could be making like a bit of order around your room. It could be making your bed in the morning. Simple things like that. Literally just making your bed in the morning. And once you start actually fixing your environment, you'll notice that you'll feel 10 times better and that you'll be much more willing to think and to actually rationalize better. And that is when you start thinking of also your mental aspect of the things. Right? It's no longer about, like the wishy-washy bullshit. Oh, find your passion, bro. Do all these kinds of things. Stop. What is there that I can change, that needs to be changed right now in my mind? For example, once you do your immediate environment in your environment, think about your mind as well. What habits do I need to take out? What things do I need to get rid of from my life just to make things just a little bit better? how can I improve today and make it how can I make tomorrow a little bit better than today? Or how can I make today a bit better than yesterday? And you might think of this answer, it's also through quitting social media. It's also through getting away from social media. So you know that you've actually, by this point, you've actually realized that shit, I need to get the fuck away from social media, right? Then how about you chase more friction and you do this? You stop using social media for a day. You literally deprive yourself of it, right? You don't look at social media for a fucking day. It's that simple. To me, it seems normal. Like, I'd be willing. Sometimes I do it. Like, sometimes I don't check my phone at all. Like, I'm fine with that. I don't mind. But it's because I've gone through a good process to get here. And this is what you have to do as well. I want you to literally stop using social media for the entirety of today. Like, after watching this video, I want you to stop even opening your fucking social media. I want you to close your phone up and remind yourself every single time that you feel the urge to pick up your phone, no, I'm not gonna. I'm simply not gonna. If you feel like it's getting, like the urge is getting fucking big, that you're actually feeling like you're gonna do it, get outside of the room, go somewhere else, do something else. But don't go on social media. For an entire day, 24 hours, don't go on social media. And by doing this, you're going to pretty much reset your muscle memory. So that's why I said, every time you feel like you have the urge to pick up your phone and, just do that. Or when you literally like mindlessly end up picking up your phone for muscle memory, you're like, oh, here? You're like almost about to open social media and anything. Hey, why the fuck do I have my phone? I said that I wouldn't be on my phone. And then you put it the fuck down. And then you get out of the damn room. And then you do something else. And every time you get the urge, you're like, no. And every time you end up just picking up your phone and just almost like deblocking it and just almost looking at social media, almost getting that, just remind yourself, hey, wait, why am I doing this? I said I wouldn't. Then you put your fucking phone down. You keep doing that. You keep doing that several times. And the muscle memory is gone. You are not going to be doing that. It just takes a day or two of actual constant effort, bro. And you're not going to have the muscle memory to just pick up your phone all the time and just scroll through it. None of that. And so, when you're going to be away from your phone, when you're going to be away and you're going to think to yourself, no, I'm not going on my phone. No, I'm not doing this. You're going to be bored. Like, let's be fucking honest here, right? You're going to be bored out of your mind. But that's when you understand and you actually think about this. And you understand the fact that being bored is actually a good thing. That being bored, which is something that all of us are so scared of, is actually a good thing. Bro, there's a study out there in which a bunch of like 100 people were involved, in out of them being like 50 maybe girls, 50 guys. I can't remember the exact numbers, right? But out of these people, they were told, hey, all right, you have two choices here in this study, right? You self-administer a shock, an electric shock, that is literally painful, it is very uncomfortable to go through, or you spend 15 minutes without doing anything. 67% of the men and 25% of the women in the study decided that they'd rather administer the electric shock than spend 15 minutes in silence. Like, this is also like not just a simple a buzz or something. No, it's like this shock that actually is painful and a bit and very uncomfortable to go through. They'd rather go through that pain of self-administering an electric shock, a serious electric shock, instead of spending 15 minutes in silence. Now, how fucked is that? Bro, if you're one of those 67% of guys who do that, then you're a fucking pussy, man. You're a fucking pussy. Like, stop being a fucking cunt, man. Get your ass off all these kinds of fucking technology. Spend 15 minutes in boredom. Spend several hours of your day doing nothing. Just thinking about your life. Thinking about yourself. Seeing all the problems that you have in your mind, all the issues that you just keep trying to put away, that you keep trying to escape. Stop trying to escape them. Stop. It's never gonna fucking happen. It's not gonna work. Stop and think. Like, this is actually gonna help you. Once you stop running, when you turn around and you fight, that's when things change. And you fight by actually addressing the problem, by being bored, by letting your mind come to those conclusions that you don't want to hear, that you don't want to think about. That's how you fucking fix your addiction, by thinking about it, by being aware of it being there, and being aware of all the shit that it's caused you, so that you can avoid it, so that you can destroy it, so that you don't have to be a slave of it anymore. Be bored. Be fucking bored. Like, I'm giving you permission right now to be fucking bored. Like, after you finish this video, stop using social media for an entire day, even tomorrow as well, and just be bored. Be fucking bored, man, and you're gonna have some amazing conclusions about your life. And after a while after a while of being bored, I want you to take a piece of paper or journal. Like, I want it to be specifically paper, because it's much better than anything else. And take a piece of paper and a pen, and write down everything, that all these kinds of conclusions, and think about them, and then journal about them, and obsess over those conclusions. And that's how you're gonna fix your life. That's how you're gonna fix your social media addiction. That's how you're gonna fix all your addictions. That's how I've done it myself, and it's worked, and that's how plenty of other people have done it. And you're gonna need to also build the self-awareness that you've lost. I've mentioned that social media destroys self-awareness. It does. It really does. For me, it did. Like, I had no self-awareness at some point. I was just a robot. But now I'm telling you to build self-awareness. How can you build self-awareness? It's like, it seems like wishy-washy, and you're like, oh, well, how the hell am I supposed to build that? Meditate, journal, and take walks in nature. 3 things that are very easy. Anybody can do, right? I can write, like, this is what I've done, bro. Like, oh, like, can you see that? I've journaled. This is it. I've built self-awareness just by writing things down from my head on a piece of paper. I've built self-awareness by meditating several minutes every day. Now I've gotten to the point where I meditate like 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening. 10 minutes, bro. It's not that much. But maybe you're not going to go through a minute. And so when you start, I want you to literally start meditating for a minute. Even when it's annoying and it's pacey and everything. Meditate consistently for a minute in the morning and a minute in the evening. And then keep progressing. Keep making those minutes into 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, more, even more, bro. If you can, make that even more. Meditate for a bunch of time every single day, and that is what's going to build your self-awareness. This is how I've built my own self-awareness, by the way. I've built it by filling up 5 notebooks worth of notes and journaling. This is how I've built my self-awareness. Meditation and walks in nature have also helped a lot. But the main driving factor was the fact that I filled out... Hold on. I filled out like almost all of these. All of these, they're almost just filled out by me. All of these are my journals. These are my old journals, by the way. This was my first one. Another one. Another one. Another one. And this is the one that I have right now. This is how you build self-awareness. You journal. Doesn't have to be a lot. You can journal like, half a page. It takes you half a page to journal and get your ideas across. I end up, like, when I journal for like 3 pages, man. I have a lot of stuff going on in my mind. This is how you do it. You journal. You journal, you meditate. I meditate 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening. Do that. You're going to fucking fix your self awareness problem. You're going to be aware of whenever you're picking up your phone and you're about to scroll, you're going to be like, wait, why am I doing that? I don't have a reason to be here. Put that shit down. Wait, oh, I'm about to eat the junk food. Oh, wait, I'm about to masturbate while looking at this girl on Instagram. Wait, why am I trying to do this? Stop. You have the self-awareness to stop yourself from doing all these stupid things that are gonna ruin your life. And by building this self-awareness, you're gonna end up figuring out your true priorities. At least it's happened for me, man. You know, when you end up journaling about all your problems and about all the things that are going wrong in your life, you end up realizing, okay, well, these are all the things that are going wrong in my life. These are all the things that I should be doing to fix those. This is what comes up in your mind. Like, this is what happened for me. I came up to to a bunch of conclusions about how I should live my life and how I should fix things just by journaling. Just by fucking journaling about those problems here. And figure out your true priorities. Figure out the things that truly mean the world to you right now, and maybe in 5 years, maybe in 10 years. Figure out those things and be aware of the fact that it might be flexible. You know, maybe in 5 years they're going to change. Your priorities might change. Because this is what happens for men. You know, like the masculine energy, you're gonna learn about this later on. You're gonna realize this on your own skin, by the way, that your purpose is gonna change in maybe 2 or 3 years once you fulfill it. You know, no, like maybe it's like a 20 year long purpose that once you get there, you might think to yourself, yeah, this is cool, amazing. You're like, oh shit, I want to do something else now. And that's when we should remember that your purpose, your priorities will be flexible. They're gonna change. Maybe your main priority right now is work, as it is for me, and then it comes health and fitness, and then family and love. Those are my priorities in their order. Maybe at some point it's gonna be like it's just gonna like turn around. It's gonna be like it's gonna be family and love on the first place, health and fitness on the other end. Like maybe it doesn't matter what combination, but you need to know that they're gonna be flexible. And I want you to figure out those priorities for you. I want you to figure out the things that truly mean the world to you, and just how much you're willing to sacrifice for those things. And then I want you to think about social media. Does social media have its place in those priorities? Because for me, sure, then my priorities, I still remember back then my priorities were to achieve a great body, were to help my family, were to study for my exams, were to... What was it back then? I cannot remember. It was several things like these, right? I had all these kinds of priorities that I made in my life, and then I realized spending time with shit people that don't give a fuck about me, playing video games, looking at porn, eating junk food, being on social media is not part of those priorities. And so I am not going to indulge in this shit anymore. It's not part of my priorities. It's not part of the things that drive me to wake up in the morning. And again, yeah, like, maybe you're not feeling driven out to do anything right now. And I felt the same. But, you know, once you start getting some progress, once you start getting some momentum in a good direction, which is what you're doing now, you know, maybe by having done the actionable step that I've given you, by actually figuring out the fact that social media is horrible for you. It's a waste of your fucking time in your life. You're starting to make some good progress in the right direction. By going a day or two without social media at all, destroying your muscle memory, you're like, okay, damn, I can do this for longer. This is how I fixed it. I did it for several days. I was like, okay, I can go without it. Then I was like, why go back to it? It's a waste of my time anyway. It's a waste of my fucking time anyway. Like, these are my priorities, and this is what social media is. They're fucking parallels. They don't have any kind of intersections. Nothing. They're parallels. And so I took social media out. I cut it out. And you should do the same. You're gonna end up, you know, once you actually spend good time away from social media, once you destroy this muscle memory of you have, and once you go several days without it, you're gonna have a lot of extra time, bro. For me, it was like 6 hours of extra time, from not being on Discord and YouTube and all these kinds of other things all the time. 6 hours. You know what I started doing those 6 hours? I started exercising. I started journaling. I started reading. I started meditating. I started writing. These were the things that I was doing to catch up with the extra time that I lost. That I won, actually. Sorry, the extra time that I won. These were the things that I used to fill it up with. Things that would build me up physically, the gym and everything, mentally, reading, meditating, journaling, writing. Things building my self-awareness, journaling and meditating, and even taking walks in nature. These were the things that were actually bringing me forward. And I was doing all of these things, and at some point I just didn't feel like I had any more time to spend on social media. I was having so much fun just being there and doing this and seeing some progress in my life. In the way that I seeing some progress in the way that I think, in the way that I act around people around me. Being more present, having a better attention span. Those things, I was like, I am not gonna trade that away for some fucking time spent on social media. Fuck that shit. And this brings me to the next point, bro. You have to change your fucking values. If you want to get rid of social media from your life, you have to change your values. Because, if I were doing all these kinds of different things, if I would have heard this advice that I'm giving you a year ago, 2 years ago, and I would have taken action and done these, but then I would have thought to myself, yeah, okay, but some time on social media sometimes is fine. It's never hurt anybody to spend 10 minutes on social media. Yeah, fucking ass, bro. Dumbass, bro. If I could talk to my younger self right now, I'd tell that motherfucker to shut the hell up, bro. God damn. And so, you need to change your values. You have to absolutely change your fucking values. There is no more, yeah, maybe I can spend some time on social media. Maybe I can do that. Maybe I can look at this girl and jack off. What the fuck? You are fucking pathetic if you're doing that. If you're spending any more time on social media, you're a pathetic person. You have to tell yourself that. Repeat this with me, right? Me spending any more time on social media is pathetic and a waste of my time. Say that. Me spending any more time on social media is pathetic and a waste of my time. You are no longer the person that you were yesterday. You're no longer the person that you were before watching this video. You've changed your identity. You've changed the way that you think about this. And so you have to act like it. You have to change your fucking values. There's no more, moderation is key, Moderation is nice and you can just do things on all in moderation. No, you fucking can't. No, you can't. The majority of us cannot help doing those things in moderation. I cannot help eating junk food in moderation. I cannot help watching Netflix. I cannot help playing video games in moderation. No, I fucking can't. I'm gonna be honest, I can't. If I were to try to do that, I'd probably end up having addictions again. And so I just simply don't do them at all. No more moderation, because I know that I wouldn't be able to control myself. And so I'm here and I'm completely fine with the fact that I know that I have to be extreme if I want to live a good life. And so maybe this is something that you have to adapt as well. Especially, if you've been addicted and you feel like you're not having enough friction in your life, if you feel like you're not doing enough with yourself, if you feel like you have these ambitions in your mind that you've just not tapped into yet, then it means that you have to go extreme on this. And I'm giving you full fucking permission. Go extreme. Stop listening to the people out there who are just telling you that you should just do everything in moderation, that it's kind of weird not to have social media. Stop fucking listening to those people. I don't have social media, dude. Granted, I do have YouTube where I post my videos, and I have Discord where I go on a call sometimes with the guys in my Discord server. The link is in the description if you want to join. A quick plug, by the way. And I'm there and I talk to these people for an hour, and then I stop. That's it. I don't go fucking scrolling and seeing ass and tits, dude. I'm not doing any of that. And the majority of those people in that Discord server are not doing that either. So people like me exist, and probably they're around you as well. You just have to look. You know, the first 2 weeks of you trying to quit social media will be the hardest. This is almost with any kind of normal addiction. It takes like 30 days to completely get over this kind of a decently built addiction that's not very powerful and not. It takes like 30 days. If it's not like this very, very powerful thing that just controls you completely, then it takes like 30 days. For me, that's the average of the time it took. 2 weeks in which I was a bit more or less willing to just kind of go back to social media. I was having all these doubts and insecurities, but I kept reminding myself, hey, I'm not a fucking pussy. I'm changing my values. I'm not living like this. I'm not a fucking dumbass. I know what I need. I know what I truly need to live a good life. It's not social media. It's not all these bullshit things. And so I stopped doing them. The first 2 weeks were kind of hard, were a bit difficult, but I filled my time up with things that were actually meaningful, and I got some momentum going. The next 2 weeks, out of this month, the sun started coming out through the clouds. I started actually feeling the sunlight. I started actually seeing the life ahead of me. Because I started feeling less cravings to go on social media, to play video games, to eat junk food, to eat sugar at all. Like, I felt less cravings to do those things. So I felt, hell yeah, there's actually more to life than this. And by the end of those 30 days, most of the time, bro, like at least here with social media, if you take this shit seriously, what I'm telling you right now, if you take what I'm telling you right now as seriously as you possibly fucking can, and you stop just trying to bullshit yourself and belittle yourself, if you take yourself seriously for once, for the next 30 days, you're gonna fucking quit your addiction. 30 days. 2 weeks are gonna be hard, and then it's gonna be better. It'll get worse before it gets better. Keep that in mind. It gets worse before it gets any better. This is all I had to say. This is already a long enough video, bro. Good luck. I wish you good luck, and come back to this video anytime and remind yourself of why the fuck you're doing this. Remind yourself that there's life outside of this. There's life beyond this. Good luck.